back from the ocean. There's no rest in the water, I'll tell you what. There's none. People think, oh man, you get to go fishing all the time. But I'll tell you what, when you're running a boat, running the anchor, running the rods, tying the gear, battle the waves, pulling the prawn traps, standing up the whole time, never sitting down, it does beat the shit out of you. Although, yes, of course it is fun. But it does beat the crap out of you. And I'll be announcing shortly when, where, and how you can book fishing. Very limited positions to go, spots to go, okay? But I'll let you know when shortly. Now, I have a handful of emails that I have to read because while I was away, I guess I screwed up on the edit department, because when you use a separate microphone for this, put it on the editing program, then you have the audio from this camera and you have the audio from the other microphone. And when you put the audio from the other microphone down, well, you have to copy that audio again to make it into stereo. So you have your left and right audio. And then you have to eliminate the audio from this camera. And obviously I'm always in a rush, and I got messed up on my usual routine and screwed up the audio from that video. So it took me a while to dig them up. I had to go into the trash bucket on the big computer to find those clips. And I found them, thank God, because there's nothing, it does bother me that people will write in and they won't, and possibly get their emails lost, because it is a big thing for somebody to write in. It's very big, and everybody needs to be heard, right? So I found them, saved them, gonna read them again. What else? Had somebody email me in. They asked me I forget how I should have copied it, but it was just recently, because when I came home I had to go through my emails, and there is frickin' dozens and dozens of them. And somebody asked me, who do I listen to for knowledge? And now I haven't had time to compile a list of who I would share with you to consider listening to, but just for me, who do I listen to? When it comes to this topic, I listen to all of you. That's it. I rarely have time to listen to much online, but I do, when it comes to this topic, I put all of my concentration on all of you. That is my number one best source of information for absolutely anything and everything, is all of you, for sure. Uh-oh. Here comes one of the kittens. I'm sure he'll be up here shortly as soon as he figures out how to get up here. Up here, I don't think he's been in here before. There he comes. Anyway, sorry about that. And who don't it's easy for me to say who I don't listen to when it comes to information and honest knowledge, and avoiding the shit show, and trying to get better. For myself personally, I'm always trying to get better. I'm trying to learn more. I'm trying to get better, learn more, I'm trying to not make as many mistakes as I normally make through life, which was a pile. I could write a book on how to screw up in life, but I could also write a book on how to get better and make things better in your life, right? But who I don't listen to right now, for a quickie, I could share with you all that I do. The second I hear anybody weigh in their thoughts of what's going on in the celebrity world, I'm done. I got no time for them. Absolutely none. That's just me. But as soon as I come across anyone who feels that they're in some kind of a position to weigh in on a couple of celebrities battling over divorce, as an example, I'm done. I don't have any time for your ass. I mean, seriously. How is my mind going to get better in advance if I waste my time on focusing on a couple of human beings that are being worshipped for the skill of pretending to be something they're not in front of a camera? Sorry. If I ever have absolute idle time and I want to watch something that's going to help me fall asleep, I might tune into those people who are also called actors, right? But I do not worship actors in any way. I do not worship celebrity world in any way at all. So getting back to my main point of who do I listen to for knowledge, who do I listen to for straight up information, it's definitely not anyone who feels they're in a position to weigh in on and share their feelings on what's going on in the celebrity world. That is my indicator for me to pass them. So who do I listen to? I listen to a small handful of individuals currently, because currently I'm interested in a handful of current events, but not too many, because I really concentrate on this. I really concentrate on my life, everyone's life here, and concentrating on making sure that I pursue my passions a lot. I spend a lot of time pursuing my own passions, what makes me feel good and what helps me stay healthy and the people around me. So that doesn't lend too much time to idle time to going like this, right? I do not go on Facebook at all. I have an Instagram account that I do post to randomly now and then, and it's linked up to Facebook accounts of mine that I was fairly active on in the past. But I will go on Instagram just to check on. It's a quick, easy way for me to see the people who I've had in my life, who I love and respect, friends, and just to make sure that they're doing well. It's just a quick little checkup on them. There they are. They're rocking life out. Perfect. On I go. That's about all I use social media for. Currently, I listen to a channel on Rumble called the Duran, Duran. I feel that the people involved in that channel spend a lot of their time digging for honest information and sharing it, which I think is very absolutely generous of them. I find them to be absolutely credible, and I listen to them when I'm curious about the topics that they are covering currently. So if you're curious as well, you can check these guys out. Who else? I'm about to be distracted by a kitten gangster. We got a couple of them here right now. He's trying to figure out how to get up here. Even like Dave Pilatus, I know what he shares. I know what he talks about. I have huge respect for him, but I'll admittedly, I don't have time to watch his videos. I just don't. I don't have time to watch videos on YouTube on average. I just don't, you guys. So this is a question that I'll have to answer in a little more in detail later on. I will actually sit down and compile who I actually have time for that I feel helps me advance in my quest for knowledge, and I'll share that with you shortly. Okay, I'm babbling. I just ate a quick meal and had a couple of potent coffees, and I hate to lose focus of what I'm here for, is to get all you heard and get your honest truths out to as many people as I can nonstop before I can't. What else? I did catch a clip earlier today, which it just made me shake my head, which I will share my thoughts on with you guys just for a quick minute before I get ripping here. I saw a quick clip forwarded to me on the World Economic Forum, where this group of elite people with way too much money and power and control meet up in an undisclosed area of Switzerland. Undisclosed? Gee, why is that, right? Hey, psst, psst, get out of there. And it's a guy standing on the stage in the World Economic Forum boasting about how they have come up with a pill that when you take it, it dissolves, and there is a tech item that lodges in your body that keeps track of you. Quote, so you will comply, whether it be taking a pill or doing whatever it is they're doing. That's what he said. If you get prescribed pills, and to make sure that you're taking those pills, it'll track and let the authorities know if you have or haven't. And it really took me back for a minute when I'm looking at this absolute fucking loser. And I call him a fucking loser because if you get to that point, as far as I'm concerned, you get to that point in life where you are that financially successful, which enables you to have all the freedom and all the access to all the good things in the world for you and your family, right? But that's not quite good enough. You can't become financially successful to the point that you can just concentrate on your family, your friends, and what you are passionate about experiencing in life, and instead you dedicate your life to figuring out how to control the population, how to control other human beings more smoothly, more effectively. That is an effing loser, as far as I'm concerned, and it should be brought to the attention of all the good people out there what's going on and what kind of absolute fucking losers are dedicating their time and their money to figuring out how to control you better. And I'll tell you what, I'll close on this. If I could be a part of an army amassed dedicated to vaporizing these types of people off the face of the planet, I'd sell the house and donate the money to that organization, that group of people. Very, very evil. Anyway, there's my little battle for today. Hope it made sense. The kitten's too freaked out about what's in this room right now to hang out. Probably better off. And it's time to get the emails reread that I screwed up on earlier. And posted up that shit-eating video, which didn't make sense at all because the audio was screwed up. Now listen to this. This is called Footsteps in the Dark, Miles from Civilization. Excuse me. Steve, I have the greatest respect and admiration of you and your family, your convictions, and your surroundings. What outshines all of that to me is the tender and loving way you interact with your animals. Wait till you see me eat them. I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Thank you for the kind words. My heart aches for your loss, Mr. Macaroni. I, too, was blessed with an equine soulmate and know the joys and the pain of letting go. Thank you for the time and energy you give to all of us to share our deepest secrets without shame. Here we go. All right, let's let it rip. My eventual husband, Dane, and I planned a hiking trip to Beck Meadows near the Sequoias in California in the early summer of '76. I was 19 and he was 23. We had a topo of the area, but beyond that, we were two dumb city kids, ill-prepared for 3 days in the wilds. From the empty parking lot trailhead, it was a 2-mile hike up a proper trail to a beautiful swimming hole. The next 3 miles up and over a gap and back down past the scrubbed tree line was little more than a game trail at best. There was a small stream trickling across the tree line there. It then opened up to a 20-plus mile long, 4 or 5 mile wide prairie of largely drying grass, some brush, and very few trees, and cattle. Lots of cattle. Cattle was as far as we could see, and no trail. We planned to hike an additional 7 miles through the prairie on the first day, and camp near a year-round stream that the rangers assured us were running. It was hot, around 90 degrees, and we were looking forward to finding the stream. As it turns out, it was not only not running, but was so grown over that we walked right across it without noticing it. The topo began to make no sense, but we were low on water and determined to reach the stream. We kept walking until the sun dipped beneath the surrounding mountains. We decided camping beside a small stand of scrub bushes might keep us safe from the Brahma bulls and coyotes who had already begun to sing. We rolled our sleeping bags out on the bare ground, ate a few granola bars, and fell into a deep and well-earned sleep. We woke up to a quarter-inch of ice on the top of what little water we had left. Studying the topo, we realized we'd walked straight over the running stream and, all in all, had hiked a total of around 19 miles the day before, instead of the planned 12 miles. We heard what sounded like chainsaws and big motors running, way further up the prairie and somewhere to the left through the trees. Another 3 or 4 mile hike brought us to a run-down logging camp and several grizzled old-timers, and thank God, water. They happily filled our water bottles and advised us that the best and only way out was back the way we had come. Now another 17 or so miles through our bovine friends to where we knew was the stream where we had dropped down onto the prairie floor the day before. So we were off, back the way we had come. We reached that blessed stream near dark and set up our sparse camp in a clearing about 60 or 70 feet in diameter. There's a path down to the little stream. After starting a fire and eating a small hot dinner, we walked down to the stream to clean up. It was a moonless night and so dark that Dane said, "Look up." I could see nothing until he shined his flashlight up into a solid ceiling of bats. Back in our sleeping bags on the bare ground, we fell into a dead sleep to the sound of crickets and night things. Sometime later, Dane woke me gently and quietly said, "Shh, listen." It was eerily silent. It was eerily silent, but then I heard footsteps that seemed to come from the edge of the clearing. In the total blackness, we could see nothing, and we didn't want to advertise our identity and exact location by shining a flashlight. It became absolutely clear that whatever was making its way around the clearing was walking on 2 legs, and was large and heavy, rustling through leaves and loudly snapping twigs and branches as it walked. We could almost feel the slow, heavy footsteps as they continued all the way around the clearing to where the path led to the stream and stopped. Whatever it was had a huge, oppressive presence. In the mid-70s, Bigfoot was more of a joke than a real issue, and the thought didn't come across our minds. Dane and I were both in a state of shock and panic, trying not to make any sound as we tried to make sense of what was happening. Whatever was stalking us was definitely walking on 2 feet. But there was absolutely no reason for any sane person to be anywhere even close to this godforsaken, dried-up cattle range, much less on a dead, dark night. Where we were at the time was no less than 5 miles away from any shred of civilization at the trailhead to the swimming hole, and would have been a rough and pointless hike another 3 miles in. We lay there frozen in terror for probably 20 minutes in the total darkness, trying not to make any noise, breathing or rustling our sleeping bags. Then the heavy footsteps began again, this time circling the other way. The being, let's just say creature, slowly made its way all the way around the clearing. It seemed to take a very long time to completely circle us again, and once it came to a halt near the path to the stream. We never heard another sound, including crickets or buzzing beetles. Even the coyotes were silent. We eventually fell asleep. Probably sounds ridiculous, but we had hiked something close to 40 miles in the last 2 days, and exhaustion overtook our fears. The next morning, we didn't even consider checking for footprints or any other signs of our night visitor. A fire, coffee, and breakfast were also forgotten. We didn't say much, but quickly packed our camp up, slung our backpacks on, and marched on untended blisters the 5 miles to our truck, seeking the relative peace and serenity of our home in Los Angeles. Sally Mason, now in Oregon. Keep up the good work for our world, Steve. I look forward every day to your stories. Stay safe, my friend. God bless you and yours. No need to share this down here. Oh, I included a photo. Okay, here's a photo of the backdrop where you were. Gotcha. It looks just like the terrain around Kamloops, British Columbia, where I've shared with you guys before. Semi-arid. And it's a damn cat. But I get it. And your hiking numbers are definitely not out to lunch. I've done the same treks. I think we've done 25 some odd miles in a day with our packs hunting. You know what it was. You know what it was. You know I'm going to say that because you found this channel and went out of your way to email us what you seen, what you experienced, what you heard, felt, and you know what it was. Just like thousands of others who have had the exact same experience as you. Thanks for sending that in, and thank you for the kind words and the words of encouragement. It goes a long ways, all right? And email in any knowledge you come across that you feel will help the people, all right? If you find something, get it to me, if you can. All right, this is 2 emails. So, in the 2019 hunting blacktail season in the Suxion hunting unit, I had to go get fuel, and I'm going to read it word for word. That's all I can do. I had to go get fuel, and Cougar Washington and my friends went hunting without me. While looking for them, they were supposed to be there. I got there, and they were not there. No tire tracks. Then I'm 5 miles in off the gravel road. It is a drivable road, and I did drive my truck there. I've always had an uneasy feeling in there when I've been by myself. I always hear things. I don't get these feelings anywhere else. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, and I hunt more than any of my friends. I'll go by myself, camp by myself. I've had cougars walk through my camp in the middle of the night, and I sleep good. So this day, looking for my friends, no radio contact, I decided, well, I'll park my truck here and walk down. They just opened this road up from somewhere. Logging. It's an old road, but they have updated it. Okay, it's going to be a little awkward, but it's not my fault, all right? Walking down this road, I have alder on my left and virgin timber on my right. The treasure, 30 feet apart on my right. Very steep, but rolling hills going down steep. I sat over a culvert hearing something. I couldn't figure out what it was, and it happened to be just water that would pile up and then splurge over obstructions. I've heard that same sound. Figured that out, kept going down the hill by the way we call it the Nutter Road, friends of ours that have killed many huge bucks in the area. Walk past the culvert, another 100 yards. It's thick on my left and clear on my right. I start walking around the corner, and it's a buck, but I don't know what it is. It was laying with its head up on my right, like 15 feet off the road. Mind you, no tracks of a vehicle, no vehicles behind me for over 5 or 6 miles. I see the buck. It runs downhill in less than 3 seconds. I can't hear it no more. Yes, the ground is mossy, and it's roly-poly. But I'm like the buck, just stopped. It's there. But I'm like the buck, just stopped. It's here. It's right. It's there. It's right there. Going word for word. Lack of punctuation and a few weird words here. So I step up the gravel road, which is mostly mossy covered. It's an old road. Take 7 more steps off the road. I see the deer pop over the next little tiny hill. I should see the deer. And tree whacking starts. It was very rhythmic like. 2 whacks every 3 seconds, and this went on for over a minute. And I cannot believe that any human can make a sound that loud, even with a Louisville slugger. I'm standing there in awe. And I see something black running from my left to right at about 30 miles an hour. I'm judging 200 yards down the hill. I only got spots of glimpse of it here and there. And there, here, and there in my head, I say, it's just a crow flying, but the whacking of the tree was mind-blowing. We did not hunt that spot this year, and we usually do, but this year we were snowed out. I'll still hunt the same spot, but I will not do it by myself. I did tell my story to everybody at camp, which is about 20 people, and they give me such a hard time, but I don't care. You can use my name. It is Darren Anderson. And yes, I'm still in the woods. Thanks for all you do, Steve. I do miss a lot of your hunt stories, but I do like these stories as also. Okay, man. Darren, appreciate it, man. I think there's a few spell checks in there that threw me off, but no big deal. You got your story across, the main thing. I appreciate your time you took to share that with everybody here. Welcome to the Club of No Return. There should almost be a song written for that, huh? Welcome to the Club of No Return. And there's no way out. No way out. Isn't that crazy? Man, there's animals running around all over the place here. All right, here we go. Another one. These are the repeats from the video that I screwed up on the edit last week. Excuse me. This is titled Third Email. They were hooting and hollering. Hello, Steve and How to Hunt family. This is my third email. First was, I know why they lie. And the second was, my fiance saw 2 of them. This morning I woke at 3:30 a.m. and was sitting by the sliding glass door. I had it open as I love fresh air, but 4ish a.m. I was completely blown away. I heard what initially sounded like teens partying, and then hit me like a ton of bricks. There was no way that there were teenagers hanging out in the woods behind my house. It sounded like Sabby was having fun, hooting and hollering out in the 96-acre woods. I immediately turned off all the lights, boogied downstairs, turned off any lights down there. I sat near the window, leaving it shut, and listened. It went on for about 20 minutes. I did not record, as I did not want the light from my phone to show. I felt that if I did try to record, things might have gotten way more intense. I did not move until the sun rose. I felt safe enough to continue my morning. I know they are out there, and I'm sure they know I know. I said in my mind, please do not make me afraid. I don't think they want to hear that again. However, I'm grateful they didn't scream or come into my yard. Thank you, Steve. Hope my other emails meet your eyes. Have a blessed day. Tara Woodruff. Tara, I hope they do too. You know, I'll admit it, by the time I leave here and carry on doing all the other things I have to do, it's tough for me to remember that I need to go back into my notes, find that red note, find the name of that person, find their email, dig in the email, and try to find their previous 3 emails and get them read. Because I just get a zillion interruptions all the way through. And I apologize for that, but I will find them. If you sent them, they will get got to, all right? It's kind of frustrating. I'm having a bout of numerous people there's so many people are frustrated with me all the time, strangers and friends, because I'm not doing what they want me to do when they want me to do it. And believe me, I'm not doing what I want to do when I want to do it more often than you're frustrated with me, okay? So if I'm not getting to your emails, I apologize. It's not possible for me to hit every single one instantly at the same time, and it's not possible for me. It's just not possible. They're coming. I don't stop. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed, but I don't stop this. I will not stop. And other people who are associated with me other ways are frustrated with me because I'm not getting to their messages, I'm not getting to their emails, I'm not getting to replies, and then I've got a large handful of people who go onto the internet, find this channel, find me, and decide that I am their personal public enemy number one, and then I get hammered on from them too. So listen to me babble. Yeah, it can be frustrating doing this at times when all of the people on the planet that are frustrated with me or think that I'm evil or not doing what I'm supposed to be doing for them when they want me to do it. It all comes and slams on me at once. And the odd time I'll almost catch myself going, all right, screw it, screw all this shit, I'm out of here. Never come online ever again. And just go and film shit in the woods. But I'm not that weak. I don't quit. Here we go. What do we got? Carrying on, no more babbling. Listen to this. This is another one that I screwed up on last week. Hi, Steve. I've been listening to your channel for about 2 years now. Kind of stumbled upon it and find it equally interesting and reassuring that there are others who have witnessed or experienced Sasquatch /Yeti /Bigfoot. Please just use my first name, Debbie. I'm not in a position that my full name can be revealed. Wish that wasn't the case, but it is. Don't be scared, Debbie. Don't be afraid. The sooner you stop being afraid of people, the freer you will be and more successful. My encounter is brief, yet has stuck with me my whole life since. In 1997, my husband and I were in Peace Corps, volunteering to do some good in the world. We were posted in Nepal, in Dolpa, one of the most remote northern areas high in the Himalayan mountains, around 10 to 12,000 feet above sea level. Dolpa borders Tibet. The area was closed to tourists at the time, very remote. But since we were Peace Corps and stationed there, we were permitted to hike/trek to rural towns to do our job. We lived among mostly Buddhist people who were honest, hardworking, wonderful, beautiful, and peaceful people. We had lived in Nepal, Dolpa, for several months and had been on a trek to conduct healthcare in services to local community healthcare workers in very remote villages. I am a pediatric nurse, so I teach safe birthing techniques and care of infants and children, especially for burns and diarrhea / gastroenteritis and dehydration. We would trek for 2 weeks at a time, sometimes hiking above 14 to 15,000 feet above tree line. It was very remote. The nearest village would be a day's hike in between, and the very occasional tea house or lodge every 2 to 3 hours along the trail. The trail would follow the glacial river with the occasional bridge to cross. The bridges often were just 2 large trees spanning the raging river, or sometimes a suspended wood platform bridge. One time on our way back from a long 2-week trek, we were hiking home, and we were still about 2 to 3 days out from Dunai, Dolpa, our home village. Our backpacks weighed about 25 to 30 pounds, so they were packed tightly. Excuse me. Excuse me. This was the era before cell phones. Not that it would matter, because even today I doubt there's an internet/Wi-Fi. It's so remote. But we had a regular camera that I had packed deep into my backpack. My husband and I were hiking. He was right in front of me on the trail. We had been hiking for several hours, following the glacial river, and to my right was the steep gorge down the mountain leading to the river. To my left was the steep mountainside traversing up. Oh, I'm getting a cramp in my calf. Very steep. So steep, one would have a very difficult time climbing/hiking it. So, we're tracking along. I thoughts to our own, when all of a sudden I felt my hair stand on the back of my neck and my ears started ringing. It got deathly quiet. I looked ahead and saw my husband still walking ahead on the trail. I stopped and looked down, and right on the dirt trail was a very large footprint that transversed the entire trail. Trail, maybe 18 to 20 inches long, maybe longer, much longer than a hiking boot. I could easily make out the toes, the big toe and a flat bottom and very wide heel. I thought, wow, someone has a very wide heel. I thought, wow, someone has gigantic feet and are flat-footed. But why would someone be out here in bare feet? Even Nepalese wore footwear when trekking, typically flip-flops actually. Then I just froze and my heart started pounding in my chest. I knew it was there staring at me to my left. I could feel it. I sensed it. Right next to me in the bush, maybe a few feet away. On my left, on the mountain side, staring at me. Out of my peripheral vision, I caught its human-like face, no hair, staring at me, and its eyes staring at me. I never felt so much fear in my life. I didn't make out his body because it was standing behind a tree, peering off to the side. I know if I didn't yell for my husband to come and see the footprint, he would never believe me. This is before cell phone cameras, and I wasn't about to put my backpack back down to bring up my camera. I was too scared / frightened and had this sense of run now. And then in my mind, I heard it say, just keep going, I will not hurt you. But keep going and do not look at me. I said back in my mind, I just want to show my husband the footprint, and then we will go. So I tried to yell, and my voice froze. I could not make any sound. It was so strange, and I'm a good talker. I barely got my voice to whisper to my husband to come back. Of course, he didn't hear me, so I kept trying to yell, but I just couldn't. My husband happened to look back because I think he sensed I wasn't behind him anymore, and he started backtracking towards me. I still could barely talk and sensed the being, / Yeti, to my left this whole time staring / watching me quietly. Ew. When my husband got to the footprint, I pointed down on the path and showed him. He stared at it, stared at me wide-eyed, and started to look towards the being, and I said, stop, we gotta go now. My husband nodded and we sprinted down the trail. We sprinted fast, tracked for about 30 minutes until we felt the weird feeling leave us. I felt petrified the whole time and didn't stop trying to sprint, even with our heavy packs, until we felt normal again. When we finally stopped, I told my husband what I encountered, the voice and the glimpse of its face and eyes, how the being had spoken in my head. I had never heard of mind speak until I started listening to your channel, and then it made sense. We both were so shaken. But I'm glad he saw the footprint, or I didn't think he would have fully believed me. When we arrived in the next town to stay overnight, we asked the locals if they had ever seen a Yeti, and oh wow, did the stories fly. They told us the Yeti live in the mountain and to never hike alone. That if we didn't bother it, it would not bother us. But once in a while, the Yeti would come into town and take small livestock, chickens and goats, or their crops, mostly potatoes. But they told us they tried to live peacefully and with the Yeti, but not to anger it, or the Yeti would seek revenge. Children were not allowed to go in the mountains alone. Oh, my calf is cramping. I will note, I'd become conversational in Nepal during my Peace Corps years, and I could understand the stories. Since that time, and living on the East Coast, mostly in PA and Maryland, I've not had any encounters in the U.S., and we hike the Appalachian Trail frequently. But honestly, that's fine with me. I had encountered bluish orbs, but that is another story for another time. But I wanted to share my story finally, and thank you for having a safe place to do that. Excuse me. Take care, stay safe and healthy, Debbie. Debbie? Oh, hold on, I think, is there a second one in this one? I missed out the second one and the last one, maybe. Hold on a second, Debbie. Hold on a minute. No? Okay, sorry. I think I was just screwing up on something. I did screw up. There was a second email that I missed out on a couple stories back. Let me finish it. This is the guy that was hunting, and I was getting a little rough reading his email. And he emailed me again and said, P.S. Steve, yes, me and my friends still hunt there. I got a grouse in the same spot last year. If I hear those sounds again, I'll leave for the day. But I don't plan on changing my hunting areas. At least not yet. I'm a humble human being, and I believe they will sense that I'm not there to hurt them. I did stare a cougar in the eye once through my scope. That was in California, and you're not able to hunt them. And I said loudly but calmly, if you leave me alone, I'll leave you alone. He was sitting down staring me in the eyes, wagging his tail. I calmly turned around and walked away and finished my hunt. Yes, it may be stupid, but I believe my calmness and my humble ways keep me alive in the woods. Okay, man. Darren, right? Darren, there you go. I got your second email out. Sorry about that. I had it stacked on your original email. And I believe I agree with you too. If you keep yourself humble and your demeanor and not antagonistic or aggressive, you'll be fairly fine out there. And now getting back to Nepal and Debbie. Deborah, I am absolutely jealous of your adventures over there. I would love to go over there into those mountains, especially in Asia, and I would love to spend some time in the mountains with possibly even a fellow hunting guide who has lived in those mountains. Their family has been in those mountains for who knows how many generations, hundreds, right? Thousands, who knows? I think that would be so cool to sit and hike around up in there, either a one-on-one or we meet 1 and 2 locals with the same passions on the other side of the planet, and we could just sit there and shoot their shit about life and knowledge and what they know about where we are and their experiences. So yeah, absolutely jealous of your adventures over there in Nepal. And I'm not envious of your experience of having one of these beings 3 feet, 4 feet to my left staring me down, telling me to keep going. I'm not into that. Just not into it. Will it happen to me eventually? Probably. I'll deal with that when it gets here, but I'm not into it. Now, surprised you're in PA, you said, and you run around the mountains, Appalachian Trail. I'm surprised you haven't had any more experiences yet. I'm sure you will. It's coming. Most people that have one have more. The cat is climbing the grizzly bear right now. Oh, boy. All right. Again, Debbie, absolutely appreciate your time that you just took to share with everyone. We absolutely appreciate everyone who does that. Human time is very, very precious. Not too many people realize that until it's too late. So, I do realize the value of human time, and I appreciate every second that people take to share here through me with everybody. It's a huge gift. More shares. Now, just got to fill you guys in on me and technology, my phone. When I open up emails with my phone, which is 99% of the time, because then I can copy the email, save it to notes in my phone. And then when I come across an email who has shared a video or an audio recording, I have to try to remember to open up that email on the big computer, because for some unknown reason, my phone just won't play them. So when it'll say, click on the attachment, then you hit download, and then it'll say download or view. I'm going to view it. And it goes to play it, and then it says the player's broken, and it won't play it. It won't play the video, and it won't play the audio. It drives me freaking nuts. Because once I crack open that email, it's basically marked as read, right? To me. So when I jump onto my big computer and go on an email through there, I won't see those emails, won't be in my face. All the new ones will be, and they'll get forgotten. But anyways, here's me and my limited knowledge with today's technology. I came across my, what's it called? Hold on a minute. Let me find it again. Files. Downloads. Oh, look, there's a bunch of videos and audio that were downloaded, and I never found them, never listened to them. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to play these audios right here, right now, and we'll listen together. And then I know I've done it. I've shared it, all right? I'm not sure if the microphone will pick this up or not. Here we go. Listen to this. coyotes. That's not a coyote. And that gave me the hairs on my body standing up on end here now. That was a little creepier as shit, wasn't it? We'll just keep playing. Alright, so there's one. Don't know who sent it, where it came from, the story behind it. Haven't a clue. It was in my downloads in my files on my phone, and that was one creepy ass friggin' sound that chimed in with the coyotes. Creepy. If you know anything about it, you can probably email me about it or send it, or put some comments in the comment section below maybe. Here's another one. Let's listen to this. Come on. Here we go. All right. Haven't a clue what that was about, but it was titled Bigfoot Beeps. Don't know. Haven't a clue what that was about. Okay, let's keep going. There's more in here. I think. Oh, yeah, here's one. Let's listen to this one. Okay, let's listen. Canine. Don't know what that was. Let's do it again. It starts off canine, the last sound, I don't know. Nothing I want to hear in the woods, right? Don't know who sent it, don't know what it was. That is titled Cantu Wife. Tree knock.
And that's our final knock. Goodbye.
Somebody hiking and they heard a tree knock. Don't know who sent it, where it came from. Again, I apologize for that because it's in my notes as downloads. Don't know. And there we go. And there's a handful of videos that everybody's already seen. I think that's all. Now we got a dog. Dog, come here. Oh, say hi to everybody. What are you doing? I'm gonna go play with the kitten. As long as you're scratching him, he doesn't need to go play with the kitten. He doesn't need to do anything, right? You'd rather hang out right here. Stay. Right? All right, next. Where's the goats? All right, there we go. I got some of those shared out of there. And I know there's a lot more in my inbox, but I have to crack them up on the big computer to get them to all of you, all right? Now let's get to some people's voices that need to be heard. They've been waiting some time.